What is worth giving your life to? Have you ever asked yourself that question? My dream was to become Luke, the physician. I wanted to be respected and live a life of ease with my family. Some would say I threw my life away. But I discovered a story so compelling that giving my life to tell it was the only way I finally found my life. Really, I had no choice. God called me to do this. I've spent my life recording the testimonies of those who were forever changed by their encounters with Jesus. The work has already changed me profoundly. The fantastic account of his birth, amazing miracles, teachings so powerful they had to come straight from heaven. Now, it's time to write of Jesus' final trip to Jerusalem. Honestly, I've dreaded this day. The story is so powerful, so significant that I'm afraid I'm not up to the task. Yet I pray that God will use my humble efforts so that people everywhere may hear the ultimate story of love. The story that begins once upon a tree. And when he had spoken, he went before, ascending up to Jerusalem. So many have testified of the joy and anticipation of that day. The disciples I have spoken to have said they felt a sense of destiny. Others were sure they were seeing the Messiah himself riding in that curious procession. People celebrated, as it seemed obvious that God had finally come to free them from tyranny and to establish a new and godly kingdom. So when Jesus and the disciples entered the city, the crowds flooded the streets as news of his arrival spread. Jerusalem, the holy city, so full of history and tradition, full of politics and power, full of hypocrisy, corruption. Jerusalem was a dangerous place for a prophet, and Jesus knew it. But instead of being careful, he preached the truth even more boldly than ever before.
Jerusalem, Jerusalem, who kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to you. How I have longed to gather your children together, and you would not. Behold, your house is left to you desolate. And I tell you, you shall not see me until you shall say, Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord.
Be careful in the city. Be careful where you tread. The people rise to praise you. The Pharisees want to condemn.
Then he went into the temple and began driving out those who were selling, and overthrew the tables of the money changers. And he said to them,
Is it not written, My house will be a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers and thieves. Beware of the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes and love to be greeted in the marketplaces and have the most important seats in the synagogue. They devour widows' homes and for a show make lengthy prayers. Such men will be punished most severely.
This song is full of danger.
Pharisees and high priests didn't have to wait long for their opportunity. Judas, one of the disciples, offered to lead them to Jesus when the crowds weren't around. Oh, it was almost too good to be true. They quickly seized the opportunity. Jerusalem would waste no time in killing this prophet.